Estonia. Thank you for the good and thorough discussions that we have had. I'm glad that we will be opening the Tallinn Digital Summit shortly that will focus on how to build trusted connections and trusted partnerships and how to avoid new dependencies, a topic that has a greater urgency given the ongoing Russian aggression. The embodiment of the trusted connectivity concept that Estonia has introduced is the European Union's global gateway, something you, Ursula, personally have been leading. I'm also happy that I can take you to Narva today, right on the external border of the EU. There we will launch Estonia's Just Transition Plan that will help us to deliver green transition for the people of Ida-Virumaa. We will also visit the Narva border crossing point and the Grenholm Manufactory, a place where our histories or the histories of our families meet. You were last in Estonia a year ago, and since then a lot has changed. Most notably, Russia waging a full-scale war against sovereign European country, and that has an effect on all of us. Dear Ursula, you have been on the forefront of the European response to Russian aggression and also European support to Ukraine. You understand well the Russian threat and what it means to our common security. Commission has translated your understanding into strong policy proposals. I thank you for the leadership in building and upholding the unity in the EU. Ukraine's success on the battlefield means that we have been on the right track and that we must make use of this momentum. It must be translated into ever-increasing and stronger support to Ukrainian soldiers, economy, and its people. We all must do more so that Ukraine can free its territories. This is the way towards peace. And as you have rightly said, this is the time for us to show resolve, not appeasement. The war is not far from over, therefore also economic isolation and pressure on Russia must continue. Sanctions aim to dry up its war machine. It is important that a compromise was found on our additional EU sanctions, containing also price cap on Russian oil. Russia crimes, including crimes of aggression, crimes against humanity and possible genocide, cannot remain unpunished. Our focus needs to be on how to achieve accountability. Impunity cannot be an option. And we cannot forget about the Ukrainian war refugees. Ukrainian refugees, mostly women and children, already form about 4.4% of our population. Our message to the European Commission is that European solution is needed to assist those fleeing the war inside Ukraine, as well as to support the member states who are providing shelter and protection to a large number of Ukrainian refugees. I would also like to thank the Commission for the work they have been doing in this regard. Next to the conventional war that Russia is waging on Ukraine, there is also a hybrid war and the war on information going on. We must pay attention to the stability of our societies because Russia's long-term interest is to divide us, not among the European member states, but also within our societies. And this brings me to my final point, which is energy. Russia has demonstrated very clearly how energy can be used as a weapon. This means we need to ensure the energy security in Europe, and we need to work on different tracks. Decreasing energy prices, ensuring the security of supply, diversification of energy sources, and ending our dependence on Russian hydrocarbons, boosting investments to deliver green energy. At the moment, the most time-sensitive issue is to find common solutions to reducing energy prices. This will work only in case we find joint solutions and not fragment the EU single market. We discussed it last week in Prague and must continue with urgency. Here I also turn to the Commission for their leadership. This winter may be hard, but it is the price we must pay to put the stop to Russian aggression and its imperialistic dream once and for all. And the only way to do this is to demonstrate unity and strength. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister. President of the Commission, please.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much, dear Kaya. I'm glad to be here back in Tallinn. Thank you very much for a very good bilateral meeting, which is basically the continuation of our ongoing dialogue the two of us have all the time. Let me reflect on a few topics that you have mentioned. The first one is indeed Ukraine. I must say Estonia is an important player in our response to the Russian aggression, and I really thank you for your determination and being so steadfast and staunch. We share the same understanding of the threat that Putin poses, and I really want to thank you also for being one of the main driver what the delivery of the 8 sanctions packages is concerned. As you said, it always needs unity, but it also needs member states like Estonia who are driving the unity forward. These sanctions are biting. We see by now the effect on the Russian economy, and we will keep up the pressure to drain Putin's war chest. What I also want to thank for is the warmth with which the Estonian people have opened their hearts and their homes to Ukrainian refugees. This is outstanding. This will be never forgotten. We support as much as we can through flexibilizing funds, but the big gesture of human solidarity is outstanding, and I really want to thank the Estonian people for that. We are in this together. The European Union is the most important supporter of Ukraine, together with the United States. Since the beginning of the war, we have supported Ukraine financially with, as Team Europe, with up to 19 billion euros. I am shocked and appalled by the vicious attack on Kiev and other Ukrainian cities. Russia once again has shown to the world what it stands for. It is terror and brutality. Those who are responsible have to be held accountable. We are mourning the victims, and I send my heartfelt condolences to our Ukrainian friends. I know Ukrainians will not be intimidated, and Ukrainians know that we will stand by their side as long as it takes.
We are standing here at the eastern border of European Union. Their background is Russia. We send a clear message to all the Ukrainians. We are supporting you every possible way, and what we have to do is definitely deliver air defense from the Allies' side so that the Ukrainians can protect their cities, their civilians, because Russia is definitely escalating to harm the civilians. We are with the victims. We stand by Ukraine.